Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to our crafting, where we learn, grow and craft together. In today's session, we are going to look at how I make journal card and tag bases. Now, I know it's a bit of a controversial topic, and I'll explain why I say that. Some people prefer to only use scrap material or repurpose things to make tags and journal cards with. I use whatever I need to use. So sometimes, and I am running out now, I am low. In fact, I don't have any bases left. I'm going to cut a few, and I'm just showing you my process. Now, I just need to explain that if I am making something like a mixed media background where I would want to make a set of 2 or more other tags or journal cards, whether the tags will be included in a tag book or the journal cards might be a set that I want to include in a journal, and it is the same thing. I will rather keep the paper or the cardstock that I will use as a whole sheet and then cut it down. But sometimes you have those ad hoc moments where you need a tag or a journal card and it is a once-off. For those ones, I like to have something ready. Now, sometimes I use a journal card as a small topper for a card or a pocket in a journal. So there are various ways that I'm using these. No, they are not wasted. I actually do use my things. No, it's not just hoarded. I actually use it. So let me show you how I do this. Right this moment, I've got 4 sheets of A5 cardstock, white cardstock. This is about 100 GSM. It could be a little bit more if I feel a little bit more. Could be, like I said, 100. I'm a bit doubtful at this very moment. But nonetheless, I'm just going to show you, and I will cut the rest of them according to my needs. I don't want to bore you stuff, just a quick one. So this is about 21 centimeters wide and about 15 high. So if I measure there, so that makes it easier than I thought it was. All right, so half of it, we can either cut it first lengthwise, which will be lengthwise eventually, or we can cut it first in half and then the other way. So let's do that while it's lying like this. So it should be 10 and a half, like so, more or less. Use my trusty craft knife, and I'm going to just slice it in half. Just making sure the blade goes right through. If it doesn't move, then I know it did not go through. And this one still doesn't go through. I wonder why. Maybe time to break the blade off and just sharpen it again, or to have a sharpened blade. Now, same thing. So half of that is about there. So we will just slice it then here in half. And remember, I'm just saying this again. These are for the quick tags that I want to make. Not wanting to think too much, maybe some ink smushing. Have to slope up some ink that's on the work surface. Or I've got a good color going and I've got a bit left. So I'll use that for these tags then to do that. So these are all ready. I will be rounding the edges. And for that I use my wonderful corner rounder. I'll do 3 at a time because 4 will just be too thick. I prefer the 7mm one. Okay, 2 is maybe better. Doesn't want to go through. Just punching that, and I have not corrected the lighting. I'm sorry. Just some light on this subject matter. And we'll do one here. Make sure that is punched well. This one is, I can see, not perfectly sized, but it's okay, we will just adjust it a little bit. There we go. And then move it this way. Must have cut a bit skew. Really not a train smash. That is something I had to learn to do, is to embrace the imperfections and just go with the flow. We don't make mistakes, we just have happy little accidents. And the last part, you can go for a bigger corner rounder or even smaller if you want to. I just personally like the 7mm corner rounder. So there we have some bases. They are ready, can be included in a small envelope. You can turn it into a tiny postcard that you then can add somewhere. It can be part of a collage. It can be whatever you want it to be. So those are ready. Now we're going to go onto the tags. Basically the same process. What I like to do with these is also just slice them up. Now that's about a good one, maybe there, and then we can have a few small ones. We can slice it up in 7 centimeters, which will be a good size, I think. I'll just place my finger there so that I don't have to recount again to see where. Now this is where a cutting board would have been perfect. You could have seen the sizes and you could have sliced it immediately. Now you have to measure, count first, that type of thing. So soon enough I will start using my normal tools when doing these things. And I hope that I have inspired you enough to start out with the basics, such as maybe a cutting mat and a craft knife and a metal ruler. Plastic, wood, just not working. Now these ones, we can round it as well, the bottoms. However, I normally don't round them. You can use, it actually is in its place, it just fell on its side. So I was just like, where would it be now? Where would it be? We can use this card, and you can see that we can just slice it with this. You can use a normal tag, or you can just snip it with a pair of scissors and use one of those and turn it over for this side. Just line this up. I like that size. That's why I use it frequently. Now just flip it over. You can use any type of gift card or credit card. Just make sure nobody can get to your personal info. Somehow put a magnet on the chip, and all of those things take the time to secure your information. So with this one, let's do the bigger one. How we can, but it will be, let's do a few like that. Why not? If not, why not? And we flip this one over. Same thing, line up the top and the side. And snip it there. Then you have a much narrower top. I personally like these. And then the last set, which in this case is just 2. Let's do a small one, just because we are different. And flip it over, align the top and the side, and then just snip this end off. And there you have your own handmade tags that you can use. You can ink it, you can stamp it, you can gesso it, you can paint it with different colors, you can do whatever you want. You can cover it in book pages, masterboards, you can do gift wrap, gift bags that have been torn, beautiful imagery from magazines or catalogs, whatever tickles your fancy. Scrapbook paper, printables, you name it, you can use those. So that is my process. I hope this will inspire you to see that you don't always have to buy the ready-made things. Commercially, you can make your own. Thanks for joining me. Go try this for yourself and please tag Wobble Crafting if you do on social media. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up. And as always, I'll appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel too. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload new content. See you back soon. Goodbye.